looked up and saw the 3 surviving United States veterans standing and smiling with small tears in their eyes. I was overcome with pride for my country and these men. This was last December 7th, when the Kilgore College Rangerettes had the honor to perform a patriotic high kick at the 70th commemoration of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Because of these men, we have the freedoms that we do today, and they fought for our justice. Because they laid down their lives for our well-being, so that we and our country may survive and prosper, it is important for us to know what happened about Pearl Harbor. Having the opportunity to travel to Hawaii and visit the memorials and museums, I was able to learn a lot about the attack. Today, I would like to share with you what I know, and for us to focus on the events leading to the attack, a short summary of the attack and its lasting effects on the United States. Before we can truly understand the gravity of the attack on Pearl Harbor, it's to our benefit to know what events led to it. According to the National Park Service, on November 6, 2012, the attack on Pearl Harbor was the culmination of deteriorating relations between the Japanese and the United States over the status of China and the security of Southeast Asia. Japan and the United States had always had major underlying fundamental differences, but tensions escalated in the 1900s. Major problems arose in the 1930s when a group of Japanese extremists invaded China. Despite the United States' protest, Japan launched a full attack on China just 5 years later. The United States, nor other countries with motives in the East, wanted to stop the Japanese through military force for fear of entering into a war, something that would require time, money, and lead to the deaths of some of their citizens. Wars in Japan and Europe broke out in World War II. The U.S. tried to lessen conflicts of the Sino-Japanese through diplomatic means, but the Japanese felt the United States was invading their national security. Now that we know what caused the escalating tension between the Japanese and the United States, let's focus on what happened during the attack. According to the Oracle Education Foundation, on November 6, 2012, 2,403 people died, and estimates of 1,178 were severely injured. The veterans recall being completely shocked by the attack. It was in the early morning and lasted only 3 hours. Bombs were going off, shots were being fired, and planes were diving low to the ground. Some men surprised by the attack were trapped in sinking ships, such as the USS Arizona. Although stunned by the attack, the men did as they were trained and fought to their best ability. The Japanese had hoped that by immobilizing the United States Pacific Fleet, they would be able to keep the United States from intervening with their future plans for invasion of China. However, the Pacific Fleet's aircraft carriers, submarines, and the oil supply survived. My third and final point is that because they gave so much, we should honor their lives and memories by being educated about the events and the effects of Pearl Harbor. Because of these men, the United States withstood a horrible attack, fought against corruption, and helped in securing the United States' continuance. While the U.S. had worked with the Japanese to try and negotiate treaties, after the attack, Americans were angered. The attack galvanized Americans and caused the unanimous feeling to enter into World War II. Because of the United States' contribution of money and soldiers in World War II, innocent lives of Americans and people around the world were saved. If the United States had chosen not to enter the war, who knows what would have happened? Other countries might have thought they could overtake us because of our lack of response and could have even acted on it. I am thankful that we live in a country that fights for equity and the welfare of mankind. Today we have discussed the events leading to the attack of Pearl Harbor, a short summary of the attack, and its lasting effects on the United States. It is said that the greatest act of love is to lay one's life down for another, and that is exactly what these men did. It's also what the men and women who serve in the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard do for you and me today. These self-sacrificing and courageous men and women put their lives on the line so that we may enjoy the freedoms that we do. We should honor and take pride in our country and honor these men and women. So even though some of them have passed, their legacy and what they died fighting for continues on into the